us doing the code.org puzzles, how about we build our own using Google Slides? Hello, JCPS teachers. We're going to talk about how your students can create their own coding puzzles just like the ones they see on code.org. This is a lesson I did recently with Jacob Elementary technology teacher Fig Farrell, who you'll hear from later. Great computer programmers will often say that their code tells a story, and that's the gist of this lesson. We're going to use our coding puzzles to tell a story. This is a great supplement for Hour of Code for those familiar online resources that you've been using for years and gives students a sense of creation with Google Slides. Let's talk standards, particularly the Kentucky Computer Science Standards. This lesson falls under the algorithms and programming concept. Students are going to create their own simple algorithms within Google Slides. And those new Kentucky technology standards, this lesson's going to fall under the computational thinker. You have probably seen, or maybe you haven't seen, the puzzles on code.org. And so here, this puzzle, it's just Scrat from Ice Age, and his goal is to get to the acorn. And so what I would do is I would have him go east. That would put him here. He would go east again. That would put him here. He would go east one more time, because there are 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3, and then he's got to go what direction to get to the acorn? He's got to go south or down, right? And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit run, and he's going to go over, 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 and down, and that's the coding puzzle from code.org. Now, we are going to see how you can create your own coding puzzles. So I've got a title slide here for you. I just duplicated my Mr. Meow Gets the Mouse for you. You can keep it that way if you want to do a Mr. Meow puzzle, or if you just click on it, you can change it. You can say, maybe you're like Mr. Ruff Gets the Bone. All right, and so you've got a dog as your main character. Totally up to you. You can do it whatever way you want to do it. And then from there, you would just go on and you would type on slide 2. You've got your directions, which would just be, in this case, help Mr. Ruff avoid the obstacles and get the bone by choosing the correct arrows along his path. All right, and so from there, you have to, on slide 3, well, we need to see who Mr. Ruff is, right? So you're just going to insert an image. Insert, image, search the web. And I'm just going to look for a dog. Now, here's a really quick tip. If I want to look for a dog picture where he's got no background, a really clear, kind of cartoony looking dog, I can just go dog space PNG. And when I find that dog space PNG, I can find me a dog, and let's say that this guy here is Mr. Ruff. And so Mr. Ruff there he is, and I'm going to resize him, make him small enough to where he's going to fit into my squares. And then some obstacles for Mr. Ruff, I can, again, image search the web, and maybe just like Mr. Meow, he's going to have a tree, so I can search tree PNG, space PNG. And so there's going to be a tree in his path. Maybe it's a holiday tree that's in his path instead of the regular tree. It's totally up to you. And so he's got a holiday tree blocking his way. And then he's got he could have a cat image, search the web. And then cat space PNG. And so if I scroll down, maybe this guy is his obstacle in the way, this cat, and I just have to click on the corner, see the little square there, and I just click and drag down to make it smaller. If you mess up, remember, hit undo up here. You can hit undo and it'll take you right back to where your last click was, and then you can start over, right? So there's another obstacle for Mr. Ruff. And then finally, what's his goal? His goal is to get the bone, right? Insert image, search the web, and I'm going to look for bone space PNG. All right, and there's a nice bone right there. that looks like something Mr. Ruff would like. So click on that bone. I'm going to hit insert. And that's the bone that Mr. Ruff is going to be going out for. And so there's my avatar, Mr. Ruff, or hero, the obstacles that are in his way, and the goal, right? So then all I have to do is click on Mr. Ruff and then go to Edit, Copy, or Control C. And when I do that, I can put him in my grid. So if I can go to Control V or Edit Paste, it puts him in my grid, and I can move him down to where he's part of my grid now. And so now on slide 4, there's Mr. Ruff. And so now I just do the same thing for my obstacles. I can click on my Christmas tree or my holiday tree there, and I can do Edit, Copy, or Control C. And I can put my Christmas tree in there as an obstacle. I might have to resize it to make it fit in the blocks. It's okay. All right. And then here's a quick tip, guys. You can duplicate this. So if I go to Edit and I go to Duplicate or Control D, I can make multiple Christmas trees without going back to slide 3, right? So put that in there. You know what? I'm going to grab the cat. There's going to be a cat in his way. So I'm going to do Edit, Copy, or Control C. And put the cat in his way. All right, there's the cat right there. And then finally, the only thing I have to do now is I have to get the bone in there. His actual goal is to get to the bone. So I'm going to put the bone by going to Edit, clicking on it, and going to Edit, Copy, or Control C. And then putting the bone, Control V, or Edit, Paste. And there's going to be where the bone is, right? So you can put it up on this row if you want, or anywhere really. Let's put it right there. Okay, let's see. That's where his goal is. And then so how do I know this is a good puzzle? Well, I try to solve it. So if I tried to solve this puzzle to get to the bone, the first thing Mr. Ruff would do is he would go up, right? So that would put Mr. Ruff here. And then he's got to go up again. So I grab my arrows. So that puts him here. And then the next thing he's got to do, he's got to go over. So I'm going to grab this red arrow here that points over. All right, so up, up, over. All right, what's he have to do now? He can't run into the tree, so he's got to go up, right? He's going to go up. All right, he's going to go over. All right, so let's do that. So he goes up, up, over, up, over. All right. What's he going to do next? He's got to get here. He's going to go over. And then it puts him right here. So what's he going to do now? He's got to go down, right? There he is. All right. Mr. Ruff gets the bone. Okay. And you would just do the same thing for slides 5 and 6, but switch up where you place your obstacles and your goal. Here we go. Actual student work from Jacob Elementary. There's the title slide. This kid said, Mr. Chirp gets the worm. That's his title of his coding adventure. He's got a simple directional statement. Get Mr. Chirp to the worm. Dodge the obstacles. Here he has his page with his avatar, his hero, which is obviously a bird. Obstacles, which are a bush and a cat. And the goal is to get to the worm. This is where all those story elements come together. And so you see the plot of the story is right there on the page. It's on the grid. Mr. Chirp has to avoid those obstacles to get to the worm. And so he places those items on the grid, and then he solves Mr. Chirp's path to get to the worm. We're talking about the coding puzzle lesson, creating coding puzzles with 4th and 5th graders at Jacob Elementary. And so what do you think the students gained from this lesson?
Well, my students gained a lot of, I think, pride in their work. They were able to use skills in a really new, different way. And they were able to use a lot of them all at once.
Yeah, so it wasn't just the coding part. It was basically, they had to do these digital literacy skills of, resizing pictures and
Right, right,
Control V, Control C, that kind of stuff. Stuff that we kind of take for granted sometimes uh,
right.
as digital skills. But yeah, so perfect. So what do you think could be done to improve this lesson in the future?
In NTI, I don't feel real comfortable with having them work on shared documents because I don't know what's going to go down,
Mhm.
text wise between them.
Mhm.
But so during school, when we're in school, I think it would be a great opportunity to have kids play one another's.
Um, but yeah, so thinking about they could do this, like maybe your fourth and fifth graders could create a puzzle, and like the primary kids could try to solve the puzzle.
Yeah,
That could be a cool thing. And also, what's really neat about this is it brings in story elements. So the idea of a hero, an antagonist,
right,
obstacles. There's plot to this. Like they've got to get
right,
the dragons got to get to the nest of eggs, but they've got to avoid the knights. So it
yeah,
brings these storytelling elements to it as well. So I think that could fit somewhere in a story elements unit when teachers teach in the actual grade level classrooms. So
right.
application there. And so finally, where do you think this fits in the JCPS backpack?
Well, I think that was a perfect lead into it. It obviously for me it goes under the emerging innovator, and for me that's innovative designer. With
Mhm.
the technology standards, but they are having to figure out and design this thing. If it becomes something that they do and then they share with a younger child, then we can work into something that's a little bit harder to do, which is the collaborator, productive collaborator. They certainly have to be persistent and resilient when they're working on it. I mean, some of them were like, "Oh gosh, I don't have enough circles. I don't have
Mhm.
enough arrows." So
Mm.
they had some problem solving and some resilience in there as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps it up. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Faith.